It is time for the 20th annual Vector Marketing Corporation March Madness Maniacs NCAA basketball pool. And as a reminder, last year, Scott Dennis became a two-time pool champion. Yes, he won the pool in 1994 in our very first ever rendition. And he won the pool again last year in 2012, becoming a two-time champion. Phil Mansour finished second last year. There was a three-way tie for third between Justin Donald, Michael Cassetta, and the random bracket, which I selected by picking all chalk in one quadrant, by flipping coins in a second quadrant, by picking based on team colors using the Kathleen Woods formula in a third quadrant, and by picking based on which mascot was most fierce in the fourth quadrant. And yes, that bracket did beat most of you fools and finished tied for third. My normal bracket finished in sixth place last year, yet another fine showing for myself, but I have not yet won it all. Touché to some of you fools who have. PJ Potter and Dave Powders rounded out the Elite Eight last year, with Jackie Miyazaki winning $200 for leading after the first weekend, and Rachel Schaefer taking home the Top Chick honors for the second year in a row. Also last year, Logan Tosky won the Potter Award for finishing in last place, and he dutifully contributed his $80 for this year. Nice, Logan. You're a good sport. We like it. If you come in last this year, you are fined $40 for lame picks, which will be payable with your entry for next year. So keep that in mind. There will be a payout after this Sunday's games for the leader after the first weekend, probably $240 this year. And at the end, the Elite Eight will get paid. The payouts will be posted on the site once I figure out exactly how many entries we have. It looks like we're going to be somewhere around 95 entries or so. At least that's what it looks like here as I'm recording the video here late on Wednesday night. As always, I enter myself for free for running the pool, as well as bequeathing a second bracket to whomever I choose. Last year, my second bracket was entered as the random bracket as a joke, and since that bracket actually cashed, this year I am donating the extra bracket to the Front Row Foundation. Yes, they have their big charity event on the same day as the Final Four, so I decided it would be fitting to donate that bracket to John Vroman and the Front Row Foundation. I do have some commentary on the brackets. It does seem like every year all the teams I like end up bunched into the same bracket or the same two regions, and that definitely is the case this year. I also wonder how the committee balances the regions. When you look at Louisville and Duke and Michigan State and St. Louis and Oklahoma State with one of the best players in the country all in one region, how does that even compare to Gonzaga, Ohio State, New Mexico, K-State, and Wisconsin? By the way, did any of you notice that guy for Wisconsin who jump shoots his free throws? Yeah, he shoots 40% for the year. How's that working for you, fella? There are some fashionable upset picks possible for this year. I know a lot of people are taking Belmont over Arizona. That could happen. Some others are taking Oregon over Oklahoma State. That will not be happening. I do have my Oklahoma State Cowboys hat right here, which I will be sporting tomorrow when I go to the game and watch Oklahoma State shred Oregon. So sorry if you picked that one. It's not going to happen. South Dakota State. A lot of people are picking them over Michigan. It should be a battle of two of the top point guards in the country. Should be a fun game to watch. And I know some people are also thinking Davidson can pull off the 14-3 against Marquette. The problem is Davidson's not really even a 14 seed. How do they get a 14 seed? It's just not right that Marquette is matched up against Davidson. If you look at the 3-14 matchups, Michigan State is 9.5-point favorite over Valpo. New Mexico is a 12-point favorite over Harvard. Florida is a 20-point favorite over Northwestern State, and yet Marquette only a 4-point favorite over Davidson. How do you explain that matchup? On the 9 line, as far as upsets, I like Missouri to beat Colorado State. I really don't like any of the 10s, to tell you the truth, but I like 3 of the 11s to win. I like Minnesota to win. I like Bucknell to take out Butler this year. I just have this feeling Butler's going down in the first round. And I'm going homer with St. Mary's to take out Memphis as well. There will probably be 2 or 3 even bigger upsets. It should be fun to watch. I've heard a rumor that Robert Gonzalez was calling his shot with Southern versus Gonzaga in the first ever 16 versus 1 upset. I don't know if Gonzo took that, but Gonzo, if you did, thank you for your donation. Thank you for wasting a pick right there. If Gonzo made that pick and Southern does beat Gonzaga, I'll tell you what, Gonzo, I will pay your entry fee for this pool for life. All right? Hey, by the way, I'm serious about sending me a hat. So anybody out there, get me a hat for any college, flex fit, send it over. I want some hats. I want to be able to wear hats in the video besides the Cutco chef hat from the Harlem Shake video. So send me some hats that I can sport in future pools and making future videos. Also, please pay for your pool on time. Instructions are on the homepage on how to pay for the pool, so make sure you get that done. Do not click payment for goods and services, by the way. You're not paying for any goods or services here. So thank you, Ryan Barks and Katie Haney and Cindy Mormon, for costing me $1.46 by clicking that space. I think if any of you do cash, I may click that space when I pay you back. Be interesting to see how much PayPal charges on a $1,000 payment. Of course, none of you three will be winning anything anyway. Things we know, Evan Price will pick Duke to win the championship. Of course, he does that every year. Jeff Bryan, Chris Heigl will pick Michigan State to win the championship. Of course, they do that every year. Problem for Bry is he's always behind Heigl and has no chance to catch up, and perhaps that's why Heigl is a two-time champion of the pool. Scott Dennis is going to pick Kansas to go far to make the Final Four, but not to win it all. That seems to be his MO with his hometown, Kansas Jayhawks. He'll also pick Notre Dame to win 2 games, but not any more than that. That usually is what he does with his alma mater. Of course, Scott is our defending champion, as I mentioned. Chris Oakes and Tom Skowski will have very, very, very odd picks. That is one thing we know about those two guys. They subscribe to the philosophy of pick some random stuff, and if it happens, well, then I'll win. Well, I got news for you guys. It's not going to happen. There will also be smack. There will be much smack, and if you're entered in our pool, you got to be able to take it. Otherwise, don't play. All right? If you don't want to get smacked on, if your picks suck, don't play. Most of you guys will have picks that suck, and so you need to be ready to take the smack. I'm posing here today in front of a wall of swords that are symbolic of what's called the standard of excellence in Cutco Vector, and most of you will not be performing with any sort of standard of excellence. In fact, most of you exhibit the standard of crappiness when it comes to your picks in the pool year after year, and we love receiving your $40 donations. I will share my picks right now. Unlike Gary Christie, who entered our pool for the first time, I did not use the WAG system, wild ass guessing. No, instead, I did have some semblance of idea as to what's going to happen. I do not claim to be an expert at all, but since I'm making this video, I get to reveal my picks. In the Midwest region, I love all the top 4 seeds. I mean, that bracket is loaded. It was the first bracket revealed on TV, and as I saw it, I was thinking, no, everybody I like is all bunched in the same bracket. Louisville is obviously strong. I love the story and the motivation of St. Louis. Duke looks very good. And of course, you got the Fighting Izzos in there, and they always go very far. I've learned about not picking against them. I'm taking Duke to get past Louisville and advance. I know I'm a little out on a limb here, and Louisville is awesome, but I'm taking Duke. In the Western region, Gonzaga is a deserving number 1 seed. I watched them play in person this year, and they're very good. Ohio State will face a tough test versus New Mexico in the Sweet 16, but I'm taking the Buckeyes to survive and advance out of this region. In the South, literally anything could happen. I feel like Florida is totally overrated, and who knows what will happen with VCU and Michigan. I just don't see Kansas making it out of there. I'm taking Georgetown over Michigan to reach the Final Four from the South region. In the East, Indiana is undoubtedly the class of that bracket. Syracuse is good. Marquette had a great season, but has some tough matchups. With Davidson in the first round, with Butler potentially in the second round, who already beat them. I'm just not on the Miami bandwagon, as I'm sure many of you are on. I like the Hoosiers to make it out of this bracket, going with Indiana. In the Final Four, I like Indiana over Georgetown and Duke over Ohio State. And as for the championship, I think Indiana is the best team, but I think Duke is going to get on a roll. They're going to build some confidence, and they're going to cut down the nets in Atlanta. This is a team that was projected as the number 1 overall seed just 7 days ago before they had a bad loss to Maryland, and that dropped them all the way down. They were 17-1, something like 17-1 with Ryan Kelly in the lineup. They beat Louisville this year. They beat Ohio State this year. They're going to play both those teams again. They have the best coach on the planet, Duke Blue Devils, baby. You heard it here. All right, everyone. Have some fun watching the games. I'm going to make it out to San Jose Arena and catch at least the Oregon game on Thursday. But I'll be watching most of the games at home. Look forward to an awesome weekend. It should be a lot of fun. And I'll look forward to posting some smack and hearing some smack from some of you guys as well. See ya.